smart speaker. So, Rishi Sunak has set out plans to ban disposable vapes in an attempt to tackle the rising number of young people taking up vaping.
My job as Prime Minister is to do what I believe is right for the long term of our country. And if you talk to any parent or teacher, as I've been doing here at this school in Darlington this morning, they'll talk to you about the worrying rise in vaping amongst children. Now, children shouldn't be vaping. We don't want them to get addicted. We still don't understand the full long-term health impacts of vaping. So it's right that we take strong action to stamp this out.
Well, it's already illegal to sell any vape to anyone under 18, but despite this, 20% of children have used one. Joining me to discuss this, Reem Ibrahim, spokesperson for the IEA, is with us. Reem, I mean, look, the argument here is that it's about, or this would be Rishi Sunak's argument, it's not about messing around with your life or my life or any other adult. It's about protecting the little bairns.
Yes, and unfortunately, I mean, that kind of argument is used consistently. Every time we try and ban something or restrict adults' lifestyle choices, we tend to say that it's for the kids. But I mean, let's look at the stats. You cited that stat by Ash that said that 20% of 11 to 15-year-olds have actually used an e-cigarette. But if you dig a little bit deeper into those statistics, what it does reveal is that the majority of those individuals have actually only tried it experimentally. So we're talking about once or twice in their lives. So as a whole, only four out of five 11 to 17-year-olds have actually never even used an e-cigarette in the first instance. So we can talk about the arguments around individual liberty and the fact that adults should be free to make their own lifestyle choices. But if we're talking about teenagers, twice as many 11 to 17-year-olds drink alcohol regularly than vape regularly. But nobody seriously considers banning alcohol for everyone. We're not seeing Prime Minister Rishi Sunak turn up at a pub and say we're going to ban alcohol for everyone, despite the fact that double the number of 11 to 17-year-olds, double the number of teenagers are able to access and drink alcohol regularly than vape regularly. So again, I mean, we're talking about the stats here. Actually, I think that the reason why this is a problem is because it's taking away a safer choice from millions of adult smokers. We know that vaping is less harmful than smoking, and there are many reasons why adults might want to choose disposable vapes over refillables. For example, the fact that it is already pre-filled, it already has that liquid in it. It's also pre-charged, it's much more convenient. It's also much cheaper. Disposable vapes tend to be about between £4 to about £7 or £8. If you're buying a refillable e-liquid used vaping product, that can run you about £20 to even up to £80. So there are a multitude of reasons why adult smokers would want to use disposable vapes over other vapes. By taking away that choice from them, we are effectively encouraging them to remain smokers.
I mean, the argument, I think, Reem, I might have this wrong, from Sunak and co, seems to be that these disposable vapes that we're mostly talking about, you know, bubblegum flavour and, you know, all sorts of, you know, crazy but attractive to young people type flavours, and coloured devices, coloured vapes that look, again, attractive to a certain age group, that they've only really been designed specifically, essentially, for kids.
And I would like to argue that that's absolutely not true. I mean, even if that was the case, it is still illegal for under 18s to buy nicotine products. It's already illegal for them to buy it. So it's incredibly poor basis for legislation to ban disposable vaping products, ban a product that is already illegal for under 18s, just because they're sometimes able to access it. Again, I would also like to stress that adults like flavors too. Many smokers find the fact that vaping products have various different flavors actually means that they end up sticking to vaping rather than going back to smoking. And often when they start smoking again, they realize that that flavor change really does have an impact on whether or not they remain on vaping instead of smoking. And again, ultimately, if the government are trying to achieve a smoke-free England by 2030, taking away a safer choice that has been proven to be the most effective method of quitting smoking is, to me, just completely bonkers.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that another part of your concern, that this... Yes, obviously, Rishi Sunak has talked about wanting a smoke-free Britain by 2030. I don't imagine that's going to happen for 1 second. It's 6 years away, for goodness sake. But is it the encroaching of the state onto our rights that is, regardless of what the issue is, it happens to be smoking here, is that the area of big concern?
So I mean, me personally, I'm a libertarian. I don't think that government should be able to tell adults what they can and cannot do with their own bodies. I think as an adult, if you would like to smoke, you should be completely free to do so. However, if we're even talking about it from a public health perspective, this is a bad move. I don't want to encourage anybody to smoke. I don't want to encourage anybody to vape. But the fact of the matter is, there are millions of smokers in this country. There are also millions of adult vapers, many of whom have switched from smoking to vaping. So by restricting their access to safer, healthier products, and again, I just want to sort of reference the actual statistics here, we know that vaping is more than 95% less harmful than smoking. There have been various different studies that have shown this, including from Cancer Research UK, the Royal College of Physicians, and various other organisations that have shown that vaping is safer than smoking. So by taking away what is a much safer option for smokers, we are effectively encouraging them to remain on what is a deadly, deadly lifestyle.
Reem, thank you. Always good to speak. That's Reem Ibrahim with her views.